morning everyone. I am Ritika Rahul Sadbuke, second MBBS student. We will discuss about the drug regulations, acts and other legal aspects. The learning objectives which will be discussed under the drug regulations, acts and the legal aspects are: first one is the drug cosmetic acts and rules, drug regulating authorities, medicine labels, schedules in the pharmacy, drugs objectionable advertisement act and rules, and the DPCO. The components under the drug regulations are quality control, drug laws, drug regulatory boards, drug regulatory agencies, and the drug information centers. These are the different components under the drug regulations. Now we will discuss one by one topics. Our first topic is the Drugs and Cosmetic Acts and the rules. Drugs and Cosmetic Act was established in 1940 and the Drugs and Cosmetic Rules established in the 1945. This act regulates manufacture, import, distribution and sales of the drugs and cosmetics in India. This act is regulated by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, and which is enforced by the different state governments through their Food and Drug Administration. The next drug regulatory authority is the DCGI, that is Drug Controller Government of India, which is the organ of Directorate General of Health Services. It actually works for the approval of new drug molecules and their standards, new uses of the drugs and claims of benefit, new methods of administration of the drugs, clinical research and drug trials, new and unique formulations of the drugs, vaccines and sera, and about granting the licenses of the drugs. The next one is the medicine labels. According to the D&C rules, there are the different mandatory rules for the labeling of the medicines. Under the D&C rules, the rule 96 of manner of labeling on the medicines includes the different rules. According to this rule, it mandates that the following minimum information must be put on the label of the medicines, which includes: first one is the proper generic and the brand names of the drug. The generic name shall be printed in the same font but at least 2 sizes larger than the brand name. The next one is the net contents and the contents of active ingredients should be mentioned on the label of the medicine. The third one is the name and the address of the manufacturer along with the manufacturing license number. Fourth one is the distinctive batch number and date of the manufacture and expiry of the medicine. Fifth one is the maximum retail price of the medicine inclusive of all taxes. Along with this information, some other information must also be present on the medicine. Here in the picture, there are the different information that must be present on the medicine where it is required. For example, in the picture, it is showing some headlines like take the medicine with the food, for oral use only, shake well. Like that, different informations that is mandatory should be present on the medicine. Other labeling of the medicine includes: the label of the medicines for the internal use should bear the caution or warning statements for the drugs falling in the schedules G, H, H1 and X, that is for the prescribed drugs. The next one is no separate labeling for the over-the-counter drugs. And the third one is the container of a lotion, ointment, cream and other medicines for external application should be labeled, that is for external use only. The major topic under the Drug Regulations Acts and the other legal aspects is the schedules in the pharmacy. There are nearly about 31 schedules in the pharmacy. We will discuss one by one. The first schedule is the Schedule A. It contains the specimen of prescribed forms for making various applications, issuing certificates, permits and licenses of the drugs, etc. The next one is the Schedule B. Schedule B prescribes the tests or analysis by the central or state drug laboratories. The next schedule is the C. It includes two schedules, the Schedule C and Schedule C1. The Schedule C deals with the biological and special products, for example, sera, vaccines, toxins, etc. Schedule C1 deals with the other special products, for example, digitalis preparation, ergot preparations, adrenaline, fish oils, vitamins, liver extract, like that. Schedule D. Schedule D elaborates the exemptions regarding the import of substances not for medicinal use or those used both as the food and drugs. Next schedule is the Schedule E1. It lists the poisonous substances under the Ayurvedic, Siddha, Unani systems of the medicine, for example, opium, cannabinoids, arsenic, snake venoms, etc. There are 5 schedules in the Schedule F, which are Schedule F, F1, F2, F3 and Schedule FF. Schedule F includes the details requirements for the functioning of blood banks. Schedule F1 describes provisions applicable to the production of the bacterial and viral vaccines made from any organism as well as to anti-sera from living animals. Schedule F2 gives the standards for surgical dressings and bandaging clothes. Schedule F3, it prescribes the standards for sterilized umbilical polyester tape. And the last schedule is Schedule FF, which describes the standards for ophthalmic preparations. Our next schedule is the Schedule G. It lists the drugs which shall bear the label, like Schedule G prescription drug, caution, it is dangerous to take this preparation except under the medical supervision. The drugs included in the Schedule G are anti-cancers, diuretics and anti-epileptics, etc. The next schedule is the Schedule H and H1. The Schedule H includes the prescribed drugs which should be labeled like Schedule H prescription drug, caution not to be sold by retail without the prescription of registered medical practitioners. Means these are the drugs which should be sold only by the permission of the medical practitioner. The next schedule is the Schedule H1. The prescription drugs which carry the labels like Schedule H1 prescription drug, dangerous to take this except in accordance with the medical advice. The drugs which are included in the Schedule H1 are the antibiotics, analgesics, sedatives and the entazocine, etc. The next schedule is Schedule I. The Schedule I includes the drugs which are omitted. Schedule J. Schedule J includes the drugs or Schedule J includes the diseases and the ailments for which no drug may claim to prevent. Schedule K. It includes the medicines such as household remedies like aspirin, paracetamol, pain, balms, antacids, ointment for burns, etc. can be sold from non-drug licensed stores. The next schedule is Schedule L1. It describes the good laboratory practices and requirements of the premises and equipments for testing the labs. The next schedule is Schedule M. It describes good manufacturing practices and requirements of the premises, plant and equipment for pharmaceutical products. Schedule N. It lists the minimum equipment for running a pharmacy. Next schedule is Schedule O, which prescribes the standards for disinfectant the fluids. Schedule P. It lists the minimum life period of the drugs and formulations in the months under the specified conditions of the storage. Schedule P1. It specifies the pack sizes of various drug preparations. The next schedule is Schedule Q. It lists the dyes, colors and pigments permitted for use in cosmetics and soaps. Schedule R. It lays down the standards for the single-use latex condoms and other contraceptives. Our next schedule is Schedule S, which specifies about the standards for the cosmetics. The next schedule is Schedule T. It describes the good manufacturing practices for Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani medicines. Under the Schedule U, there are the two schedules, Schedule U and U1. The board describes the particulars to be shown in the manufacturing records. The next schedule is Schedule B, which prescribes the standards for patent and proprietary medicines. Schedule X lists the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. It requires special licenses for manufacture and sale. Labels should be marked with the symbol XRX in the red. Our last schedule is the Schedule Y, which lays down the requirements and guidelines for the permission to undertake the clinical trials and for import or manufacture of new drugs for sale. Our next topic is Drug Objectionable Advertisement Act. There are the two pictures showing some funny things. First one is there is one man which is advertising about the treatment of the corona with the chilies and lemon. The second one is about the stoppage of the self-medication. There is one cartoon who is reading the news about the treatment of the disorders in the newspaper, and it is showing the danger about the self-medication. So for the Drug Objectionable Advertisement Actors is it controls the advertisement for certain categories of the drugs so that exaggerated claims made through the advertisements are unable to influence the people and thereby preventing the self-medication. This act was established in the 1954 and the rules were made in the 1955. It provides the false or misleading advertisements which directly or indirectly create the wrong impressions about the capability of the drug. In short, it tells about the stoppage of the self-medications. There is one short topic, that is sale of the drugs. In India, buying and selling of the modern medicine drugs is regulated through a licensing system either by central authority or by state drug control authority. There must be a valid license for the manufacture, storage and the sales of the drugs. Drugs products can only be sold through the licensed stores and the distance selling of the non-prescription medicines is not permitted. Our last topic is the DPCO, that is Drug Prices Control Order, which is established in the 1995. According to this order, it exercises the control over the prices of the drugs. It is regulated by the Ministry of the Chemical and Fertilizers. Government of India implements the DPCO through the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, that is NPPA. Currently, the DPCO lists 851 drug formulations whose prices can be capped. The manufacturer is not allowed to increase the retail price of the scheduled drugs without the approval of the NPPA by this Drug Prices Control Order. Some vitamins and supplements as well as few non-scheduled drugs like aspirin also came under the price control through the DPCO, and there are no price control on the Ayurvedic and Unani drugs. Up to now we discussed about the drug regulation components, Drug and Cosmetic Acts and Rule, DCGI, medicine labels, the other labeling of the medicines, schedules in the pharmacy, Drug Objectionable Advertisement Act and Rule, sale of the drugs and the Drug Prices Control Order. Now it's time for MCQs. There are the 5 MCQs and the answers are also given here. So thank you for your attention.